grew up with an understanding that one could not be queer and be Christian. Gay people, according to the authorities in my life, were inherently godless. It was not until high school that I encountered people, the sisters at my school, our parish priest, who disagreed, but by then, the damage was mostly done. I held on to the idea that yes, this is how God made me, but I deliberately moved away from the churches who said I did not belong with them. Instead, away from the pulpit and the pew, I began doing the work called for in the gospel. Standing in the street, doing good work, no one cared that I was queer and trans. They cared that I have gentle hands and a devoted heart. Meanwhile, I lost the fight with my family, that LGBT people should have a place in the life or family of Christians, never mind sit in the pew beside them. Yet, at the same time, faith and God were omnipresent. At protests and other events, I engaged in debates of faith again and again. I said, anyone who has two shirts should share with one who has none. I was embraced on more than one occasion by a nun or a pastor. I was told that I was the hands of Christ. But those who came to argue and fight said we were wrong. We were too young, too poor, too queer, too inclusive, too open, too sharing. I realized with both relief and sorrow that there is a place for me in the church. I have a place in a faith that believes in humanity and our needs, and understands that the commandment that Jesus gave us is to love, that Jesus never told us to hoard money or salvation. My sorrow is that there is a Christianity of hoarding, of faith by exclusion. LGBT people are hard hit by this exclusion, but we are not the only ones. Once, while working with the homeless, I stood with another LGBT friend and was told by someone who came to supposedly preach the gospel that we should stop feeding the homeless because it only encourages them. It encourages them to what? Not starve to death? I still don't know. Homophobia is not inherent to Christianity, any more than starving the homeless is. However, in many churches, hatred is taken as an article of faith. We need to counter that. It is toxic to the church, to the members of the church, and to those being deliberately punished by the church. We need reform, and we need it now.